Oh, look at what these people are posting. This is all lies. The same government, the same lies. People are dying. The economy is very harsh. Kai, here we are suffering. It shouldn't be like that. Let me just post this thing. Kai. Guys, how are you all?
Fine.
Yesterday, did you see what they posted? Have a look at it. See what Allah, look at what government of this state
This thing
is
they are doing
doing.
is unfair.
It's unfair, very unfair. Look at it.
Yeah, this is the best thing for them to know what we are passing.
Yes.
Ummussalmah Badamasi. I am Chief Detective Al-amin Musa from the Department of Security Service. You are under arrest for the offense of cyber stalking and offensive communication. Cyber stalking? Yes. So, or your agent, arrest her. Any statement you make now will use against you in the court of law. Take her to the office.
Welcome. Just calm down. Welcome to Bayero University. How may I help you?
Yes, my name is Halilu Ahmed. I'm here to report an incident about my friend, Ummussalmah Badamasi.
What happened then?
Some people, I don't know, security, something, I don't understand.
Okay, DSS.
Exactly. Came to arrest her just for ordinary mere posting online. That she committed offense. Is this cyber stalking or something they mentioned?
Cyber stalking?
Yes, cyber stalking.
Her full name?
Ummussalmah Badamasi.
Alright. Do you have any of her contacts?
Yes, I have her number. Yes, 070.
Alright, her address?
Yes, she resides at Bayero quarters.
I need your contacts too.
Okay. 081.
No problem. Just calm down. I'll contact you for further information by getting your number.
Okay, thank you.
Just calm down, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Somebody just reported a case and incident just happened.
Okay. Okay. No problem. I will go over the file. I will contact them for further details, and the lawyers that will hand over the case also. Thank you very much. Okay. Just posting something online. Oh, cyber stalking and offensive communication. This is what we have been working on at the Bayero University Clinic. I think there's need for us to do more on educating people and letting them about their rights, especially rights to the freedom of participation online.
As stated earlier, we'll be giving insight and education on what is freedom of expression online, the extent of freedom of expression online and its limitation, how to act within the ambit of law while exercising the right to freedom of expression online, and finally, if your right is being breached, what are the remedies available and the proper steps to take in order to gain access to these remedies. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your loved ones. Thank you.
Presented under Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria are some guaranteed fundamental human rights which have been captivated and have long been precedent in our laws. A very important right as granted by this chapter is contained in Section 39 sub 1 of the Constitution, which guarantees the right to freedom of expression. Now, when we say right to freedom of expression, it means every citizen has a right to utter whatever he wishes to say, whether physically or online, verbally or through writing. Now, the right to freedom of expression means your right as a citizen, your voice as a citizen, it counts. You can agree with those in power or disagree with them. But to what extent? This is where the issue lies. Say what you want, criticize the government, adopt what you wish to adopt, and disagree with what you wish to disagree against, as long as it does not lead to sedition. Now, sedition here means a form of statement which criticizes the government into a very deep aspect. That is, it outlines the bad of the government badly. That is a very ambiguous statement, but let's take it like that. Your right to freedom of expression counts, whether online or not. You have a right, your voice matters. These rights are granted under the Fundamental Human Rights, Chapter 4 of our Constitution, or the African Chartered Rights. As a matter of conclusion, this is just a fundamental introduction into what right to freedom of expression entails, and that is what Section 39 of the Constitution wishes to invite us all.
As discussed earlier, we'll be talking about the provision of the Constitution, that is Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Under the provisions of this section, it guarantees the freedom of expression both online and offline. And for the purpose of this discussion, we'll be talking about the guarantee of this freedom of expression online. For instance, now we have several social media platforms like Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, and others. In so many cases, people go to social media to express their opinion about people, about the government, about organizations, whether international organizations or local organizations. So before we go into the main discussion, I will briefly define two terms that are involved in this discussion. The first one is expression, and the second one is online. The word expression simply means the act or the process of making one's thoughts, idea, opinion known by others. While the word online means platform that is connected to our internet. For example, we have Twitter. Twitter is a platform that is connected to our internet. We have Facebook. Facebook is also a platform that is connected to the internet, and so many other platforms like that. Online expression and expression online can be defined as the act or process of expressing or communicating your thoughts about individuals, governmental organizations, governmental parastatals, politicians, whether international or local companies, or any individual, whether a legal person or a natural person. The importance of freedom of expression online cannot be overemphasized. This is because online platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and others are where people that are marginalized leverage on to communicate their differences, their opinions to the world, to the society, not to the general public.
Do you know that there are limitations to this right of freedom of expression online, and that there is no country in the world that has not made laws restricting this right to freedom of expression? Like Section 45 of the Constitution of Nigeria 1999 as amended, it stated that there are ways in which the government can restrict the right to freedom of expression. And some of these are as follows. One, limitation as to the defamation. By this, it means that while expressing yourself online, you are not allowed to defame others. And this means that you are not allowed to make a true statement about others that can endanger or damage your reputation online. The second instance of this limitation is limitation as to sharing your pornographic content online. And by this, one is not allowed to share any pornographic picture or video, whether on Facebook, on Twitter, even on YouTube, or on Instagram, or any other social media handles. This is because it goes contrary to what's known as public policy. And also, another limitation is that you cannot circulate any information that can endanger the public or break down laws and others. An example of this is by making campaign against the government in order to disrupt the government activities. And this is backed by Section 24 of the Cybercrime Act, which prohibits someone from making statements which may endanger the peace, the tranquility, law, and order of society. These are some of the exceptions that Section 45 of the Constitution of Nigeria provides.
Limitation as to defamation. The right of the freedom of expression online can be limited to the grounds of defamation. Lawyers, especially Section 45 of the Constitution and the provisions of Criminal Code and Penal Code, provides that making an untrue statement about others which may affect their reputation by using any means, including online platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, etc., is not a legal means of exercising rights to freedom of expression. This means if a person intentionally publishes or posts an untrue statement about others online which will affect their reputation, amounts to defamation, and it may lead to both civil action and criminal charges against the person responsible for it. In this present internet era, it is common for users to ridicule, harass, or insult those who disagree with their opinion. However, while in the process of disagreeing, one damages someone's reputation by trying to embarrass them on the internet, one could be held liable for defamation. First, while exercising freedom of expression online, one has to ensure that the information disseminated and expressed are authentic, true, and reliable. This is protecting the rights of others, too, as a limitation to the exercise of freedom of information.
Limitation as to circulation of pornographic or false information aimed at breaking law and order or posing a threat to life. This is another limitation to freedom of expression by virtue of Section 24 of the Cybercrime Act 2015 as amended. It is against the law to express oneself online, which the expression will be somehow pornographic or it is aimed to cause breakdown of law and order. That is to say, for an information to go in accordance or in compliance with Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution, the information must not be pornographic or cause a threat to life. Limitation as to the extent of Official Secret Act 1962. This is another limitation of freedom of expression online. By virtue of Section 9 of the same Act, it relates to publication of information online or any document that government assumed to be confidential if revealing that information or document will endanger Nigerian security, for instance. In addition to what I've said, let me cite some instances. The relationship between a lawyer and his client is assumed to be confidential. A lawyer has an obligation not to reveal the client's personal information. Another instance is Nigerian Data Protection Act. This act stipulates that personal information must not be revealed.
Limitations to freedom of expression online are numerous, and the best way to identify them is to apply the three-step test. Firstly, the restriction must be legal, meaning that they have to be a provision of law. It must be real and important. For example, respecting the right and reputation of others, etc. Then the last one, the restriction must be necessary and proportional, meaning that the restriction of such right must be necessary and proportional.
Now we have understood what freedom of expression online is and some of its various limitations. I believe you can now identify if your freedom of expression online is being violated. How can you enforce such right? Whenever there is breach or threat to breach the exercise of freedom of expression online, any citizen can take steps to protect and enforce such right. Well, it is important to note that a person does not need to wait till his right is breached to take enforcement steps. The law allows for anyone who believes his right could be breached by, and let's say maybe due to an act of the government, policy or order by anyone or the government, he is allowed to take enforcement steps. These are ways of protecting the rights from being breached or rights which are being breached. First, we have petition. By writing to the National Human Rights Commission or African Union or the United Nations seeking intervention, or complaining to the National Human Rights Commission through filling their complainants form or visiting their office located at all federation of the states and filing at the court of law. Get a lawyer, file an action at the court of competent jurisdiction.
Equally, there are some organizations that help to promote all these rights, including right to freedom of expression online. What one just needs to do is to meet them either in their office or call the official line. These organizations include 1. The Public Compliance Commission, PCC. This organization inquires into the compliance of public and ensures the protection of human rights and prevention of injustice in Nigeria. The Network of University Legal Aid Institutions, NULAI, promotes clinical legal education, legal aid reforms, community enlightenment, and access to justice.
Number 3. The Legal Aid Council is an institution charged with the responsibility of providing legal advice and representation to people of low income who cannot afford the service of a lawyer. Number 4, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, is a non-profit organization charged with the responsibility of upholding socio-economic rights in Nigeria. Number 5, the Nigerian Bar Association is a professional organization that serves as the umbrella to all lawyers in Nigeria. This organization helps in promoting the rights of individuals and preserving rule of law and good governance in general. Don't wait till your right is breached. Take action now.